Hi, this is Jerry with CreativeVilla.com. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to set up a simple pause and unpause action in your game with the P key on your keyboard using level blueprints in Unreal Engine 4. In addition, we'll also set up the blueprint to pause and unpause a video that's playing on a monitor in the level. For this video, I'll be using an architectural walkthrough I produced, and I'll be using Unreal Engine 4.7. Once you have your level loaded, let's open up our level blueprint by going up to Blueprints and clicking on Level Blueprint. This will bring up the level blueprint editor, and we're ready to go. Getting keyboard input from the player is really quite simple. Right-click on the graph area to bring up a list of actions. For now, let's just turn context sensitive off. This way the entire list of actions available to us will appear. In the search field, type the letter P, then scroll down and click on it. An input node will appear on your graph. This will instruct the game to do something when the P key is pressed on the keyboard. So what we want to do is either pause or unpause the game. But first, we need to know what state the game is in at the moment the player presses the P key on the keyboard. For that, we'll create a variable. In the left column under Variables, click the Add Variable button to create a new variable to use. Let's rename it v_pauseme. Then let's hit Compile to save this variable and assign a default value. Let's look at the Details panel of the variable we just created. Notice the default value of this Boolean variable is unchecked, false. There's a drop-down for variable type. We want to leave it at Boolean variable, which is a true, false, yes, no variable. Is the game paused or is the game not paused? Let's drag the pause variable onto the graph. It'll ask us if we want to get or set this value. We want to get, and then depending on its condition, we'll set it ourselves. Next, let's bring in a branch node, which allows the program to take a specific path depending on the variable state. Right-click and type in branch. Let's connect the output of the P key to the input of the branch. This tells the game that when the P key is pressed, do this. Connect the pause variable into the condition of the branch. Depending on the condition of the variable at the time, it will go down a path of true or false. In other words, pause or unpause. We'll need to set the value of the paused variable for each path. So let's bring in a set node, right-click on the graph, and let's type in set. And the name of the variable we created, v_pauseme. Scroll down and select our variable. Connect the true output into the set node input. We'll also want to create a set node for the false output. So let's copy and paste the first set node. But this time, we want to click the tick box to change it to true, or yes, pause the game. Now we can use the P key on the keyboard to change the value of the variable depending on its condition. Let's assign what we want the program to do with that information. We want it to pause or unpause. Right-click and type in pause. Let's see what choices we get. Down under Game, we have Set Game Paused. Let's choose that. Connect the output of the first set node to the input of the Set Game Paused node. Then connect the variable output to the paused input. This will set the current pause state of the game to the value of the first set node. Let's duplicate this for the false branch. Hit Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V for copy and paste. And let's hook this up the same way as we did before. So let's recap. When the P key is pressed, we will check to see if the game is paused or not paused. If the game is paused, it'll resume playing. If the game is playing, it will pause. So let's try this out so far. First, let's compile, then let's go back to our level and hit play. Okay, so our level is playing. Let's go over by the fireplace. And we'll hit the P key. And it pauses. Great. Let's hit it again, but nothing happens. It doesn't unpause. Why is that? Well, when the game pauses, Unreal also pauses all input from the player, mouse, keyboard, game controller. This prevents actions and keyboard strokes from taking place when the game is supposed to be paused. We need to tell the game to recognize the P key even when paused. Let's go back into the level blueprint and take a look at what choices we have. We'll need to tell the program to obey the P key even when paused. So let's start at the beginning with our input node. In the details section, we find exactly what we're looking for. Execute when paused. Let's check that box and turn that on. Okay, let's recompile and try this again. Hit play. Let's go back over to the fireplace and hit P. Great. And it's paused, and P again, and it resumes. P for pause, P for resume. Okay. Let's walk over here to where the television is. Let's press P, and nothing happens. It's not pausing the video. The video is playing in the background and not obeying our pause game command. We need to add just a bit more to our graph to make sure we tell the media player to also stop playing when the P key is pressed. Back to our blueprint. We need to set up a similar situation for the media player. However, since we already have our structure, we just need to tell it to either play or stop playing when we hit the P key to coincide with the pause of the game. To do this, we'll create another variable to hold our media player. Click New Variable, and we'll call it v underscore media player pause. Let's just drag this into the graph and select Get. Select the node and let's change the variable type to something more in line with what it represents, which is the media player. In the variable type dropdown, there's a search field. Go ahead and type in media and select media player type. It's asking us if we want to change the variable type. Yes, we do. So now we want to tell the media to either play or pause when the P key is pressed. Right-click on the graph and type in play. Let's look down into the media player category, and there is play. Let's hook this up to the existing branch. And then the target of this will be the media player. Now let's create one for the pause state of the media. Same routine, right-click, let's type in pause, and go under the media player category and select pause. Let's compile, let's go back to our game, hit play, go over to the TV and hit P, and it's not pausing. Variables are just empty containers. We need to tell the program what to put in that container. Let's go back to our graph and see what's going on. Let's click on the media player variable. In the details panel, you'll notice the default value. We need to tell it which asset we want to associate with this variable. So let's drop down the list, and there we are. It's the only movie player asset in the list. Let's recompile and play. So we have the fire going and the TV going. Let's hit P, and they both pause. Hit P again, and they resume. P for pause, P again for resume. Well, I think that did it. So I hope this helps some of you who may be new to Unreal Engine or the use of blueprints. If you have any comments or saw something I missed or didn't show how I did something, please let me know. We'll see you next time.